What if happiness wasn't a distant goal, but the very way you move each day? What if what you long for, serenity, fullness, joy, didn't reside in the future? This video isn't a superficial list of habits or motivational sayings. It's a profound and practical guide built upon the ancient teachings of Buddhism and modern neuroscience discoveries, focusing on mindfulness. It's a map that outlines 10 practices to restore your tranquility from dawn until dusk. Here you'll discover exercises you can perform without anyone noticing, wisdom passed down through centuries that science now corroborates, and authentic methods for cultivating a lasting joy even amidst chaos. Prepare to reconnect with yourself. Habit 1. Orient your awareness upon waking. Buddha taught that the mind upon waking is like a freshly tilled garden, soft, open, unguarded, and profoundly receptive. In those sacred first few moments, before the world rushes in, we are offered a rare gift, the chance to plant a seed, just one seed, a thought, a feeling, a subtle vibration. And whatever we plant in that tender soil, be it peace or panic, gratitude or grievance, will take root. It will grow. It will spread. It will become the very tone and texture of our day. Modern science confirms what the sages knew. During the first 5 minutes of waking, the human brain enters a state of accelerated neuroplasticity. In simple terms, this means your mind is more impressionable, more shapeable, as if the veil between the conscious and subconscious is momentarily lifted. What you choose to think, believe, and feel in that fragile space becomes the blueprint for your mood, your mindset, and your behavior in the hours to come. This window is brief and precious, and yet most of us squander it. We wake and immediately grab our phones, flooding the mind with dopamine spikes, anxious comparisons, digital noise. We check emails, scroll social media, replay yesterday's stress, or leap mentally into the chaos of what must be done. In doing so, we hand over our inner peace before we've even had the chance to inhabit it. But there is another way, a quieter way, a more powerful way. When your eyes first open, pause, before memory returns, before names, places, and worries rise. Before you even remember who you are, be who you are, awareness itself. Do not reach for anything, do not speak, do not solve, just breathe. Feel the sacred rhythm of life gently pulsing through your chest. The breath is proof. You are alive. And that alone is a miracle. Then, with softness and clarity, offer your first words to yourself, not to the world. I am alive. I am here, and I can choose how to live this day. Say it silently. Say it slowly. Say it with the full attention of your being. Let the words not be a mantra, but a remembering, a gentle re-entry into your sovereignty. These are not empty affirmations. They are seeds. Each morning is a field, each thought a seed. What will you grow? Resist the urge to complain before you've even stood up. Resist the pull of the unfinished, the undone, the unwanted. For now, there is nothing you must do. There is only this breath, this moment, this sacred in-between, where you are neither dreaming nor fully awake, but utterly alive. Honor this space, even if it lasts only 1 minute, even if it's while lying in bed with your eyes still closed. This practice is invisible to the world, but powerful beyond measure. It is a form of rebellion against a culture of rush, a quiet act of self-respect, a sacred refusal to let stress dictate your first heartbeat of the day. It is a return, not to effort, but to essence, and that return matters. Because how you begin the day is not trivial, it is foundational. Like the opening note of a song or the first brushstroke on a canvas, it sets the emotional frequency that echoes through everything else. Begin in stillness, and your actions are more likely to be calm. Begin in gratitude, and your day becomes colored by appreciation. Begin in presence, and you carry peace like a lantern. So each morning, plant clarity, plant kindness, plant purpose, and above all, plant presence. And from that one quiet act, a new life can grow. Because how you begin the day is how you live the day. And how you live your days is how you shape your life. Habit 2. Purify your mindset with silent gratitude. Morning practice to transform perception. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Gratitude doesn't change what you have, it changes how you see it." This simple sentence holds the weight of profound transformation. It invites us not to chase more, but to perceive more deeply, to see in what already exists the seeds of enoughness. Gratitude is not just a spiritual sentiment, it is a silent, invisible medicine, one that nourishes both the heart and the brain. When we practice gratitude, we literally rewire our minds. Studies show that even brief moments of genuine thankfulness activate the prefrontal cortex, the region associated with emotional regulation, planning, and empathy. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is reduced. Sleep becomes deeper. Our social connections strengthen. Even our immune systems respond. And yet, gratitude is so subtle, so still, that it often goes unnoticed. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It waits quietly, like a candle in the corner of a dark room ready to shift the entire atmosphere with a single flicker of light. The beauty of gratitude is that it can be woven into the most mundane acts of life. While brushing your teeth, while washing your face, while standing under running water. Let this be your practice. As you go through these simple rituals of waking, gently turn your attention inward. No need to speak aloud, no need to pause or perform. Just breathe and think silently to yourself. Thank you for this, and also for this. Choose 3 things, not 3 grand accomplishments or dramatic blessings, but 3 truths. It could be the warmth of the water, the quiet safety of your room, the fact that your heart kept beating through the night, or the memory of someone who once smiled at you and meant it. Even the smallest things, especially the smallest things, matter. In fact, they are the ones we most often overlook, yet they carry the deepest potential to soften the heart. This simple act, done daily, shifts your internal climate. From scarcity to abundance, from absence to presence, from mental noise to quiet reverence. It takes less than a minute. No one will see you doing it, but your entire day will feel different. Because gratitude doesn't demand that your life be perfect. It asks only that you be awake enough to notice what is already good. Like lighting a candle in the darkness, gratitude may not illuminate every shadow. But it changes the way you see the room. It transforms the atmosphere gently, quietly, powerfully. And when practiced consistently, not as a task but as a sacred pause, it becomes a new way of living, a way of seeing, a way of being. If this message resonates with you, and you're seeking more moments of peace and insight, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for daily reflections rooted in ancient wisdom and modern clarity. Habit 3. Walk in mindful contemplation. Monks walk in silence, one foot after the other, slowly, deliberately, without destination. They do not rush, nor are they idle. They walk not to arrive, but to be. In the simplicity of each step, they practice awakening. They observe without reacting. They move without grasping. They embody a profound truth. Movement itself can be meditation. You do not need a monastery to walk like this. You only need a moment, a body, and attention. Science now affirms what ancient wisdom knew. Walking, when done with awareness, is not mere displacement. It is integration. It balances the brain's hemispheres, reduces mental rumination, and opens space for insight and creativity. It lowers anxiety and grounds scattered energy. It invites you back into the only place where life truly happens, here. But there is a difference between moving and arriving into the moment. Most of us walk only to get somewhere. Our minds are elsewhere, in the past, the future, the unfinished. Feet on the ground, but thoughts in the clouds. And so the invitation is this: reclaim your steps, reclaim your mind. Once a day, no matter where you are, perform this simple but powerful practice. The steps of awareness. Find a quiet space, a hallway, a garden, a room. Set aside 3 minutes. Begin walking slowly, not exaggeratedly but deliberately. With each step, gently repeat in your mind: present, now, I am, here, One step, one word, no rush, no force, no destination. Let your mind sync with your movement. Let your breath remain soft. Let your eyes stay relaxed, your body unguarded. If thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds. Do not hold, do not follow, just return to the next step. Present. Now, I am. Here. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel the miracle of simply being. Let time slow. Let the noise dissolve. This is not walking as transport. This is walking as transformation. You are not just going somewhere. You are returning to yourself. And in that return, a profound shift happens. What was once a routine becomes a refuge. What was once a habit becomes a practice. What was once unnoticed becomes sacred. You carry this practice with you wherever you go. No equipment, no schedule, no ritual. Just you, your body, your breath. And a step. Over time, you'll find that the path doesn't only unfold under your feet, it begins unfolding within. Habit 4. Harmonize your emotions from the body, a somatic ritual for inner balance. The most common mistake we make on the path to inner peace is believing we can think our way there. We try to quiet the mind using the very tool that causes the noise, the mind itself. We analyze, dissect, explain, strategize, only to find ourselves deeper in the maze. But the sages knew something that neuroscience now affirms. The body is the gateway to the spirit. It is not through more thinking that we find peace. It is through feeling, through grounding, through being. Pema Chodron, a voice of deep wisdom in modern times, once said, "When you experience intense emotions, don't dissect them. Feel them in the body and allow them to pass." Emotions are not problems to solve. They are waves to witness. They rise, they fall, they move through, but only if we let them move. And for that, we must return to the body. This is where true regulation happens. Not in the stories of the mind, but in the rhythm of the breath, the contact of skin, the stillness of posture. The autonomic nervous system, the vast invisible network that governs your sense of safety and calm, can be soothed not with willpower, but with presence. Gentle movements, diaphragmatic breathing, conscious touch. These are ancient tools in a modern world desperate for ease. I offer you a small, little-known ritual, a quiet act of self-compassion. It takes only a minute. But within that minute, a radical shift can occur. The 3 postures of balance place. Your bare feet on the ground. Let them truly connect. Not just touch the floor, but root into it. Feel the earth hold you without asking anything in return. Cross your hands over your chest, right over left, palms gently resting on the heart. A posture of self-embrace, a signal to the nervous system. You are safe. Breathe. Inhale slowly through your nose. Exhale softly through your mouth. Do this 3 times. No rush, no strain. Let the breath move like a tide. In, out, again. And as you breathe, repeat silently within yourself. I don't need to understand, I just need to be here. Again. I don't need to understand, I just need to be here. Let the words melt into the breath. Let them anchor you. Let them strip away the need to fix, to name, to solve. You don't need to name your pain to honor it. You don't need to explain your sadness to hold it with grace. You don't need to untangle the why, because presence is often more powerful than understanding. This small posture is invisible to the world. No one will see it. No one will applaud it. But inside you, something shifts. The storm softens. The ground steadies. The breath deepens. And in that moment, the sacred becomes embodied. Not in temples or scriptures, but in your own skin. You are here, and that is enough. Repeat this ritual as needed, once a day, in moments of overwhelm, or even as you lie in bed. Let it become your inner sanctuary, a doorway back to yourself, back to stillness, back to peace. Habit 5. Practice active kindness in silence. A sacred ritual of inner wishing compassion isn't always loud. It doesn't always arrive with grand gestures, eloquent words, or visible deeds. Sometimes compassion is so quiet that no one knows it happened at all. It can be a soft glance that holds no judgment, a silent prayer for someone else's peace, a warm wish that expects nothing in return, a simple presence that says, without a word, I see you, and I care. The Buddha understood this deeply. He taught, when you practice compassion, even in silence the entire universe listens. You don't need to be seen to be sincere. You don't need to be heard to make a difference, because the energy of compassion, once generated, travels. It expands quietly like ripples in still water, touching shores you'll never see. Modern science now echoes this ancient truth. Compassionate thoughts and actions activate key regions in the brain, especially the anterior insula and other areas linked to empathy, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. Even the intention to be kind, the mere thought of wishing someone well, begins to alter your neurochemistry, reducing cortisol, activating dopamine circuits, and increasing feelings of connection and warmth. You don't need to do anything extravagant. You only need to care quietly and sincerely. Try this invisible practice once a day, the silent compassion exercise. As you go about your ordinary life, walking down the street, standing in line, passing co-workers, sitting beside, family, choose 3 people you encounter. They don't need to know you. They don't need to notice you. They don't even need to be suffering visibly. Just pause for a moment, without saying a word. Look at them softly, and internally repeat, may you have peace, may you be free from suffering. Say it in your mind as if it were a secret blessing. Feel it, mean it, and then move on. No fanfare, no applause, only kindness released into the world like breath on a cold morning. Invisible, but real. This quiet practice rewires the heart. It dissolves the walls between self and other. It trains the muscle of empathy in the subtlest and most sacred way. Over time, something strange and beautiful begins to happen. The people around you, strangers, colleagues, even those you struggle with, begin to feel less separate. The street becomes a monastery. The office becomes a temple. Your heart becomes a sanctuary. Because compassion, even unspoken, changes everything. And in a world so noisy, so reactive, so hungry for attention, this kind of invisible love may be the most powerful act of all. To be useful to another being, even if only through a thought, is the highest use of your day. So let the practice begin, with your eyes, with your breath, with your heart. Silently, secretly, sacredly. Habit 6. Scheduled reflective quiet. We live in a world that rewards speed, noise, and immediate response. But the wise knew this. Silence is not absence, it is multiplied presence. Thich Nhat Hanh advises, reserve a moment each day to simply be. Studies reveal that 2 minutes of absolute quiet reduce stress more than listening to relaxing music. Use this exercise, the sacred moment. Once a day, stop completely. Turn off all stimuli. Sit, close your eyes, and breathe. Just breathe. 1 minute without doing anything, without solving anything. If a thought arises, don't fight it. Just observe it like someone watching clouds move. This brief custom can transform into the threshold to your inner calm. Habit 7. Respond instead of reacting. The wise person doesn't avoid conflict. They navigate it with grace. Pema Chodron teaches, between stimulus and response lies your freedom. When you wait 3 seconds before responding to a provocation, you activate the prefrontal cortex and deactivate the emotional brain. Here's a powerful exercise, the golden pause. When someone annoys, humbles, or hurts you, do this. Don't reply immediately. Inhale deeply, subtly move a finger, a physical anchor to prevent impulse. Mentally repeat, I am, not a reaction, I am a decision. Then respond calmly, or don't respond at all. Nothing kills joy as quickly as comparing yourself. Each time you find yourself comparing yourself to someone, pause and repeat, I am not here to be like them. I am here to make the most real version of myself. Repeat this without anger, with compassion. You didn't come to this world to replicate anyone's mold. You came to express what only you can embody, and that can only be measured from within. This habit transforms discussions into moments of inner mastery. So far, you've learned how to wake with intention, walk with awareness, speak with compassion, and master your reactions. But the finishing touch is still missing. Stay until the end. You're not watching a video. You're entering a portal. Habit 8. Reprogram your mind with wise visualization. Buddha taught, what you think you become. Visualizing with intention activates the same brain areas as real action. It's not fantasy, it's neuronal training. To become unbreakable, keep practicing this exercise. The sage's scene. Each morning or before a challenging situation, do this. Close your eyes, visualize yourself reacting with calm. Imagine yourself firm, clear, compassionate. Feel that scene as if it were already real. Trust the unseen. Not everything that is built is seen, and not everything that is valuable can be measured. Buddha taught that many transformations are internal, discreet, imperceptible, until one day they blossom. Habit 9. Accept the day without complaints. Buddha held, suffering begins when you reject what already is. From science, studies by Jon Kabat-Zinn demonstrate that accepting reality without complaining reduces frustration and strengthens emotional resilience. Use this active acceptance exercise. Each time something displeases you today, do this. Breathe. Observe what you feel and say internally. This too is part of the path. It's not about resignation, just about regaining your vitality. Complaining is an invisible drain. Acceptance is power. Habit 10. End the day with understanding. Thich Nhat Hanh says, sleeping in peace is a spiritual act. Reviewing the day before falling asleep allows you to integrate learnings, close mental cycles, and program the subconscious for deep rest. Don't forget to practice this exercise, the sacred question. Before sleeping, close your eyes and ask yourself, what did I learn today? What made me wiser, more benevolent, or freer? Don't look for a grand answer. Just observe what comes. Do it every night. Your mind will rest and your spirit will be cleansed. An ancient story tells that in a hidden temple among mountains lived a silent monk. He never spoke, never argued. He only walked with a lantern. But the lantern didn't have electric light. It had a small flame lit with real fire. The other monks scoffed. Why don't you use a modern lantern? Why carry fire when you can have electricity? He didn't answer. He just walked. One day there was such a fierce storm that all the temples lost power. There was a total blackout. The monks panicked. They couldn't see, they didn't know what to do. Then they saw a small flame approaching down the corridor. It was him. Why do you always carry fire? They finally asked him. And the monk, for the first time in years, spoke. Because external lights fail, but the fire you cultivate within never goes out. You have explored 10 habits, 10 ways to return to yourself without needing to change the world. Today, do you know what? Peace isn't found, it's trained. Happiness isn't a stroke of luck. It's learning to exist with intention, with quiet, with gratitude. The problem isn't that we don't know what to do. The problem is that we forget it every day. Use this anchoring exercise daily. Return to the essentials. Each morning, write or repeat a single phrase as an anchor for your day. I am stronger than I think. Nothing external controls my peace. Today, I train my soul, not my ego. Do it every day, because remembering is also an act of healing. If this touched your soul, don't let it be forgotten. Save it, revisit it, share it. Let me know in the comments which habit was your favorite, and if you can, share it with someone who is seeking light. See you soon. Namaste.